Okay, let's change the way that you think about anxiety. So, I'm Vidakovic. I'm a life coach and course creator who helps overthinkers achieve their goals without sacrificing their soul or their family life or their sanity. And in this special series, I've been sharing you such simple strategies to help you change the way that you think about anything via example. And so this is the final video. Hopefully you already know by now, if you've watched them all, that your thoughts are going to impact the way that you feel in life. The way that you feel in life impacts the way that you take action, and your actions obviously are going to influence the results that you have in life. And so just to share with you some examples, or like just a few quotes. The first is Harvey McKay, who said, when you wake up every day, you have two choices. You can either be positive or negative, an optimist or a pessimist. And I choose to be an optimist. Okay, it's all a matter of perspective. So it's all about changing the lens through which you view your life. Okay, the stories that you tell yourself about whatever is going on, whether the situations are positive or negative, you still get to decide what story you want to tell yourself. And the second quote is by Henry Ford, who said, if you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're always going to be right. So in this final video, we're going to do something different. And we're going to talk about the thoughts once again. We spoke about fear in the last video, and this one is anxiety. Anxiety is once again another totally normal feeling that comes up whenever you think particular thoughts. But today I want to discuss, what do you think when that anxious feeling comes up for you? Okay. So rather than assuming that we're not going to feel anxious at the time, that's not true. We all experience positive and negative emotions. But when that feeling of anxiety exists in your body, you just feel it inside you. What's the story that you tell yourself? Now, some people might choose to think, this is wrong. I shouldn't be feeling this way. I'm not like everyone else. I'm a weirdo who's feeling anxious about this thing. Okay, I should be living my life without ever experiencing this emotion. Now, obviously, if you're telling yourself a story like this, you're going to experience, or you're going to layer upon that negative emotion even more negative emotions, which is just going to make it harder for you to manage your anxiety. Okay, the anxiety was already there, and now you're telling yourself a bad story about the fact that you're feeling anxious. And I always talk about, carrying a heavy backpack. You're already carrying a few rocks, and you're adding like extra bricks to the backpack. But let's just say there's a different story you can tell yourself. You're experiencing that feeling of anxiety, which some of us do at times, okay? Totally normal. But if you tell yourself a story, you're experiencing that anxiety, and you say to yourself, it's okay, I'm feeling anxious right now, but I have my own back. I know what I need to do. Just take deep breaths. I've got to take care of myself. Just got to get through this. I can handle this. I can take it slow. Somehow I always get through this. We're not like dismissing the fact that the anxiety is there. We're not making ourselves feel bad for experiencing that anxiety. But you're telling yourself a story that probably calms you down, probably makes you feel more accepting of that anxiety, probably makes you feel less stressed, probably makes you feel, more hopeful. It's just stories that you're telling yourself about the feeling that you're experiencing. The same, like I said, you can't stop those feelings from sometimes coming up, okay? But you do get to decide the story that you tell yourself, the one that you are experiencing in your head. And, the power that comes from changing your thoughts about your circumstances, it influences literally everything. This is work that I wish that they taught kids back at school. I remember waiting till I got to university and going, oh my gosh, like why didn't I learn this from an early age? Because it would have made a complete difference. Knowing that you don't have to point, fingers at anyone else, knowing that you can change your thoughts, the words that you were telling yourself, knowing that it's normal to have negative thoughts, but you don't have to latch onto them. You don't have to take them to bed with you. And when you do this very, very simple work, it quite literally leads to different actions, which lead to different results in your life. So that is my very simple, like the demonstrations that I've been giving to you have been nothing super fancy, but I did want to show you by way of example, the way that you can apply this to, really simple scenarios in your life, because sometimes it's really easy for someone, for you to hear a concept and not like know quite how to, apply it to real life scenarios. But if you want to dive in deeper, make sure to check out my free guide that's inside the description about the 5 thought shifts to help you get out of your own way. And if you want to stay in touch, please subscribe. I've loved just sharing this very simple series with you. Take care until next time, my friend.